My name is Joshua Hatch. I graduated from Centennial High School in 2014. Currently, I'm a behavior intervention specialist for a local charter school here in Columbus. I also sit on the Governor's Council for Juvenile Justice, and I'm also a creative curator. Yeah, if I could go back in time, I definitely would talk to Miss Crombie again, because the way that her brain worked was just so, it made me really want to dive into the work. And she taught, I think, English and literature, and her favorite word to use was unpack. She literally would make us read these books and passages, and she would make us unpack them in such a poetic way. And I do poetry now, and even to this day, I still kind of use that word and kind of that concept to get through some of my own work or be descriptive in what I'm writing or what I'm speaking when I do poetry. There was another really impactful individual in my life, and that was my track coach. One thing that I really remember, and there's some things that I regret about track, because I ran track my sophomore year, and she was my coach then, and she really pushed me just to do better and go harder. And she would always tell me, like, if you came to practice every day, you'd be amazing. She knew what I needed in order to become a better athlete. And so just making sure that staff members are doing that. And I appreciate her still to this day for just being there for me and making sure that, you know, she gave me the skills and the purpose. One of them was Miss Shook. She was an amazing teacher for me, very supportive. But one day I was just having a really, really rough day, and I think I just walked out of class and ended up being in the hall. And she ended up telling the class, like, hey, finish this. And she left the class to come out to the hall and just kind of talk to me. And I always appreciate her for just being really supportive. And so whenever I see her, I always give her a really big hug. Some words of encouragement that I can give to current staff or former staff or future staff: just invest. Continue to invest. And I got to hear a public speaker. He's a teacher. His name's Michael Bonner. He was a public speaker for a conference I was at. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of, you can't request a withdrawal from someone you never invested in. So continue to invest in the students. Be there, and just know that every student that you work with, they might not be able to, gain something from your conversations or gain something from your instruction. But if you can touch, 1 out of 10 or 5 out of 10, it really makes a difference, because that one person could be the next president, that one person could be the next astronaut, or that one person could just be the next teacher or the next caseworker, you know what I'm saying? So they need that, and just give them those opportunities to, absorb the positive energy that you're pushing out. Thank you so much for listening to my story and hearing me out. I hope all of you have an amazing school year. Stay tuned for next week's Wellness Wednesday video.